Liverpool. Let's get the thoughts of a Blue, shall we? Dave Johnson from the Falcon Blues joins us once again this afternoon to talk all things Everton. And clearly, Dave, a 2-0 win for Liverpool this lunchtime. But how are you feeling after that performance and that result today?
I can't say I'm shocked. I mean, we go to Anfield every season, and it's the same story, different season. You know, it's just there's little things now that, you know, even Liverpool fans are getting incensed over with poor refereeing decisions over recent weeks, that Evertonians have got probably every right to feel aggrieved as well. You know, the yellow card for Ashley Young, the second yellow for Ashley Young, little decisions here and there that you just think, where's the consistency? You know, and when we knew it was Craig Pawson, even Liverpool fans were like, oh God, it's him. You know, we all know that the refereeing in this country is really poor, but that showed it today. This lack of consistency is just getting worse.
And it's something that football fans have spoken about for some time, about the lack of consistency ruining the game. We saw that with the VAR, of course, for Liverpool a few weeks ago. So in terms of the Ashley Young yellow cards today, just talk us through what you feel possibly was not the right decision from the referee today.
I think it's 2 fouls, 2 yellow cards. You know, we all know Merseyside derby. It's the heat of the derby. It's it's going to be ferocious. There's going to be lazy tackles going in. There's going to be half-arsed tackles. There's going to be a tackle there where, you know, it's not going to be nice. But there's no warning. You know, if Ashley Young gets a yellow for that first one, the second one is a warning and a final warning. You know, to say any more and you are gone. You know, we the second half there with Kanate gets the yellow and then gets a bookable offence for a similar situation on Ashley Young again. Similar to Ashley Young's foul, and nothing happens, and then Klopp hooks him 2 minutes later. That's probably a little bit of naivety on Sean Dyche. I probably think he should do the same, but you know, it was 36 minutes. It was early on in the game. You probably suppose you can't really do that, but we all know at the moment the way Ashley Young has been, he's a walking yellow card, so we expected it. I think the lads who I was with, as soon as the yellow card, I think he's gone. He's not staying on the pitch. You know, and you could see it, and the referee was waiting to give it. But again, as I said, the lack of consistency in cautions, in giving fouls and things like that. It's the same scenario to Liverpool fans arguing about it against Tottenham, and in recent weeks it all comes together, and when you're on the receiving end of it, it's hard. It's a horrible time.
I think when I look at the feedback and the comments from Evertonians after that game today, most of the criticism is aimed at the officials as opposed to the Everton players themselves. And we will look at the positives, because I know Branthwaite was particularly brilliant this afternoon. But I do just want to talk about Michael Keane, because, of course, his handball resulted in the penalty for Mo Salah on 75 minutes. Michael Keane has now been responsible for 3 of the last 4 penalties that Everton have conceded. Was Dyche wrong, do you think, to bring Keane on for the second half?
I don't suppose. I think the changes were a bit naive. You know, it was still 0-0. We were down to 10 men, yeah, but we were still in the game. I think if you'd have kept either McNeil or Harrison still in the game, but it just seemed to just die as a competition after 36 minutes for Everton, and the subs probably didn't help. Did you need to bring Michael Keane on? Probably not. Did you need to bring Patterson on? Maybe as a right back position, which is probably what we needed. But I don't think Michael Keane needed to be on the pitch, and that's not on Michael Keane. That's on Dyche.
And of course, you know, we talk about Ashley Young, but the decision from Dyche to play Ashley Young ahead of Patterson in the starting 11 today, again, there's a few questioning whether that was the right decision.
I think given the Bournemouth game, he come out of it, you know, he did put in a really good shift, I thought, and he was playing all right, but he hasn't been very consistent throughout the season. But I think he's thought, you know, the heat of the derby, no, away from home, he's going to have to go with something to give him, you know, that, I don't know, does he want to say experience? But I think he's got to start stopping with that now. You know, he did the same with Michael Keane when he was playing him for so long. You know, I think Patterson comes in, and now it's time for him to stake a claim at right back, because I think Ashley Young is just an experiment that hasn't worked, and with him now picking up a red and going to be suspended for the next game, I don't think Evertonians would be too bothered that he doesn't play.
Do you think Sean Dyche is learning from these performances? You know, when you talk about the team selection and you talk about what you've seen on the pitch today, do you think Sean Dyche goes back and says, OK, that was a mistake? And do you think he learns from what he sees on the pitch?
I think so, but we're at a period now where we haven't got time to be learning from mistakes. We've got to be reacting to the mistakes rather than waiting until the next game and then doing it. You know, like I said there, Ashley Young could have been hooked on 35, 40 minutes or, you know, brought out for once that yellow cards, because Evertonians knew. We've all seen it. We've seen it happen time and time again. But with Dyche, I think now, you know, he's almost having his hand dealt for him. We saw that last week with Idrissa Gueye having to step out and bringing in Onana. You know, he's waiting. It's almost like he's waiting for the situation to change and to be changed for him, and he needs to stop that, because that's going to cause us all sorts of trouble. Especially, you know, if we're coming to play the likes of Liverpool, Man U, Man City, whoever, we'll get punished if we're not careful. And then not learning from these mistakes it's criminal. We need to start reacting in game, and he's not doing it. I think the decisions today for the two subs were a bit naive and probably the wrong decisions. At least bringing one of them off, maybe not the pair of them. That was just weird.
But of course, there are positives from the performance today, Dave, as you would expect. I thought Mykolenko and Branthwaite both put in a really good shift today.
I've been singing Mykolenko's praises for a good while. You know, since the Arsenal game, he was the one who come out with any kind of credit, and he's been really good over recent weeks. And that, I think, that's something he's needed. He's needed that bit of confidence, that bit of, you know, a bit more consistency at left back, and he's done really well with it. Branthwaite, I think what you see is what you get. He's a big lad. He's strong. He's a unit. He gets in there where he needs to. He's a young version of Tarkowski. You know, he's that kind of. He wants to get involved with the tackles. He wants to get involved with challenges and stuff like that. And it'll be hard to keep hold of him.
Let's take a look at where Everton are right now, then, because, you know, it's not all doom and gloom, is it? 3 wins from 4 games leading into the Merseyside derby today. So Everton coming into this game today on something of a high. They had that incredible performance against Bournemouth 2 weeks ago. And I think Sean Dyche is trying to get across the message that actually Everton are doing okay this season. They are creating chances. They have assembled a midfield that's got a bit of quality. I think it's fair to say there's a work ethic there amongst the Everton midfield. Clearly, the shoots of recovery are there to be seen, surely.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, like you say, we've had the good couple of results. I think the Merseyside derby, especially at Anfield, for Evertonians, it's one of them ones that do we actually have to play this game? Can we just skip this one and move on to the next game? And at the moment, given Everton's good form, probably the derby's come at the wrong time, where we needed to be probably picking up more results, especially away from home. But, you know, ultimately Everton haven't been playing too bad. Like you say, the 3 wins, it's great to see. It's great to take stock of that, and I think we need to reflect on that. It's like, this game isn't one of we know this game isn't for Everton. You know, I'd sooner just give them the 6 points at the start of the season and crack on, you know. But, you know, yeah, I think there's definitely progress. There's definitely improvements. It's a much better side than was there last season. And, you know, time will tell. I think, you know, we've got West Ham coming up. We've got Burnley in the Cup. And then, you know, we've got a Brighton at home over the next 2 weeks. So there's chances there to get a bit of away form and to also get a couple of home wins at Goodison. And I think once we start getting the right results at Goodison, everything will just start clicking into place properly, and we won't be as panicky or worrying as we were last season.
And I did see a stat somewhere that said that Everton have had more shots on target than Liverpool so far this season. And there's been a bit of talk this week, Dave, about expected goals, XG. I don't know what your thoughts are on this measure of of expected goals. But this is, of course, a measure of quality of chances created and conceded. Now, I believe that Everton's XG is higher than that of Manchester City, and the club highlighted this past weekend that Everton have registered an XG of over 2.0 for the fourth time already this season. They did this only twice across the whole of last season. So this reflects, Dave, how well Everton have been playing so far this season. And you got to say, when you look at things like this, I don't know how much you read into this, but surely when you look at these stats here, this would increase the confidence of the players, surely, to know that at least they are creating the chances.
I don't believe in it. If I'm honest with you, I personally don't understand it, because I don't understand how you can go, oh, that miss was good.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? The quality of the miss. It's not the quality of the chance, it's the quality of the miss in the end, really, when you look at it. I mean, Dyche might look at it and go, oh, well, we're creating chances, which is great. It is. But don't start giving me stats on, an XG or something like that. I just can't take to it. I don't get it. I don't understand why you would pick that out. But yes, we're creating chances, but we're not finding the net. That's been the problem. We need to be finding the net a lot more. And granted, we did against Bournemouth, but today it meant nothing. It just depends on the game and who you play. And you go, oh, well, you got great XG against Bournemouth and you did against whoever. But when we got to play Liverpool, and it wasn't worth the light. So I think, yeah, it doesn't instill a bit of confidence, saying, well, you're creating the chances, it's just got to find the net. I think that puts more pressure on the strikers to say, well, hang on, we're creating these chances for you, what are you doing? And then when we haven't really got that kind of striker at the moment, if Calvert-Lewin, I think he was quite isolated today. Beto come in, he's just, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Beto. I think he's still finding his feet. Chimiti he only had a few minutes plus the 9 that they give, but I think we need to just find the consistency with the strikers, as well as finding consistency with the opportunities we're creating.
Well, next up, of course, for Everton is the trip to West Ham United a week tomorrow, Dave. I think it's fair to say they've had a solid start to the season. Most recently, they played out a 2-2 draw against Newcastle United a couple of weeks ago. And clearly that's going to be another tough test, isn't it, for Everton?
I think so. I think West Ham, whenever you go to West Ham anyway, it's always a bit of a tough game. But I think this is the opportunity where Everton have got a little bit of away form, and that they need to take that they need to take that with them. They need to take half from the last couple of games that we played away, and not dwell on the derby, because, like I said, it's one game that Evertonians don't want to know about anyway. So it would be a bit naive of us to think, okay, well, we just lost to Liverpool, that's it now for the away form. But I think if we take stock of how we were the last couple of games away from home, and the results that we're getting at home, we can still make it difficult for West Ham, and I think it'll be a good game. It'll be a good competition.
Lovely. Well, we will see what develops. Dave, it's always good to talk to you. Thank you for your thoughts today. Plenty to mull over, and all being well, we'll speak to you again on a Saturday very soon.
Yeah, pleasure, Paul. Thanks very much, mate.
There you go. That's Dave Johnson from the Falcon Blues, giving us his thoughts on where Everton are at this stage of the season. Right, we'll take a very quick break. We'll get the latest news headlines, and then we'll have a look at where we are with today's scores in a couple of minutes here on Liverpool Live Radio.